Happening right now and right here in Las Vegas, water managers, experts, and conservationists gathered to examine the future of the Colorado River. The river running increasingly low as the West enters the 23rd year of the worst drought the continent has seen in 1,200 years.
So these are really scary numbers for our water users.
This morning, top water managers from Nevada, Arizona, and California shared some hard truths during a panel discussion at the annual Colorado River Water Users Association conference. Tom Bushutska, chair of Arizona's water bank, said his state simply won't have enough water should current trends continue despite conservation there. While California's Colorado River Commissioner pointed out just how much his state contributes to the collective supply.
And we also flip water as well, in addition to those substantial amounts that we're already conserving over the last 20 years, moving significant amounts of water on top of that into Lake Mead as part of the interim agreements to be able to sustain Lake Mead through the interim period.
John Etzminger, the general manager of the Southern Nevada Water Association, says the water in Lake Mead right now is a testament to both California and Nevada's conservation efforts. Etzminger says our area has reduced its consumption by 42% since 2002. We'll hear more from him in our 4 o'clock hour.